So no matter what stage you're working on, whether it's your takeaway, whether it's your top of your swing, whether it's your transition, whether it's your follow through, you can use that clown's nose to really help you achieve all of those positions you're looking for. Welcome to the channel, guys. My name's Danny Malcolm, and today we're at the Perth Golf Centre studio, and I've got a great concept that's going to help you improve your club path, your face control, and your ball striking all in one. And it's called the clown's nose. Now, this isn't a concept that I made up. This is from a great coach called Scott Cowx, and I just wanted to share some of those ideas with you guys. I just thought it's such a wonderful, simple way of helping golfers understand where their club is in space during a golf swing. So what is the clown's nose? Well, it's referring to where the club's center of mass is. So the center of mass of the head here is in here. The shaft center of mass is around here, and the overall club center of mass is somewhere around here for an iron. So what we do, now this isn't a clown's nose, but you can actually get the clown's noses, which, you know, there's red noses that you sort of obviously put on a clown's nose. And here I've got my son's little foam ball, and I've basically just got a clothes peg and just poke that into the ball there. So you can get creative. You can use some aluminium foil and just roll that up on the end of a peg. Just anything that's going to really give you a visual of where that club center of mass is. Now, if I just pop that on here, now that's a little bit higher than where it would actually be, but it gives you a good representation of where that club's center of mass is. Now, we're going to use this with some wonderful training to help you understand where that's moving throughout the swing, because it matters, because where that is throughout the swing, particularly early in the downswing, is going to dictate what a player has to do to get that golf club back to the golf ball. So what we typically see when we're looking at this club's center of mass in the golf swing for a lot of players, here's the first few mistakes that we typically see. In the backswing, we tend to see that clown's nose opening up and falling on this side of the shaft. So you can see what that also does to my club face, really opens up the face there, and it's clear because I can see that big clown's nose, that yellow ball in this instance, opening up. Now what we'd like to see early in that phase of the backswing here is having that clown's nose a little bit more on top or this side of the shaft, and you can see that gives a wonderful representation of where the club face is now, almost like matching the spine at this point. So that's the first thing we typically see is players getting in here. Later in the swing, we'll often see at the top of the swing here that center of mass pointing down, therefore an open club face, and essentially it's underneath the shaft. So when we say on top of the shaft, we're talking about having it, for you guys, it's to the right as you're looking at it for the right-handed golfer. Underneath the shaft would be here, or to the left as you're looking at it on the screen there. Now that would be an excessively open face, impossible to hit a functional golf shot from there. So what players tend to do when that center of mass is out of position, we're reacting to that early in the downswing. We'll also see typically this, where that center of mass, that clown's nose, is now kind of trapped between myself and the shaft here, and the club's in this very steep position. That center of mass is almost on top of my hands. Now you can imagine in this split second of time we've got to get to the golf ball here, golfers have to then stall out their body, release those angles to try and get that clown's nose and that club face squared up. Now from this view you can see that's going to cause a whole host of issues when it comes to impact. So if we're going to get this wrong, that club center of mass is going to be falling behind us here. It's going to be underneath the shaft. It's then going to be trapped between us and the shaft, and we're going to have to get this late save where we get into this position. And that's why so often times we see players stalling out their pivot, releasing those angles, and really struggling with face control. Crucial, guys, that we get an idea and a feeling and awareness of where this center of mass is throughout the swing. So what I'd encourage all of you to do is just to get a clothes peg, get a clown's nose, anything that you can pop on here, and start to build some training. You can use a mirror. I've got one here in the studio, but you can use a mirror. You can use your phones on a tripod, and you can also just see it as we go back. So this is checkpoint number 1 at shaft parallel here, position 2. Clown's nose is this side of the shaft. As we work it up to the top of the swing, it'll maintain that kind of orientation. And then crucial when we're at the top of the swing, that it's on top of the shaft, i.e. to the right again, as we look at it from your view. Now what's crucial from the top, key move in the golf swing is that transition from position 4 to position 5 early in the downswing, where most players are getting that club center of mass trapped, the face is opening. What we like to see is feeling like that clown's nose now points behind us. It's behind the hands, the center of mass is behind us here, and the clown's nose is on top of the shaft. So you can see here, it's not behind me and in this position. That would again be a very open club face. It's on top of the shaft. From this view, you'll see it's on top, it's not behind. That's getting my club face in a nice neutral position here. And once we're there, now we can start to match our turning and lowering of the arms to get that club nice and squared impact. What you'll also see as I move through here, how much more stable that club face is as we arc around into the follow through. So wonderful training, just go nice and slow, seeing where that is in space, keeping that clown's nose on top of the shaft, then behind us, so shallowing it out nicely here. This is slightly exaggerated, but nice feel for many who get it in this position. Behind us here. Now that allows a player to then rotate much freer to get that club working back out in front of us nicely here. So I'll show you some examples of those swings. So again, you could do a few dry swings there. You could, to be fair, you could probably hit balls with that if you taped it on quite tight. If I was going to swing fast with it on like that, it would just spin around. So you could probably tape it on with some gaffer tape or something like that, maybe on an old club or a separate club that you have. But from here, I'm going to get that idea, that feeling that I've just been feeling. Clown's nose on top, behind me and on top. And now I can rotate and sort of, I'll start slow here. And it's a very good way to have a very stable club face too as we work through here. So again, clown's nose on top, clown's nose on top, clown's nose behind me. Now from here I can really start to rotate through. So I'd encourage you to do some of those dry swings, get a feel for this first. Where does that clown's nose, where does that center of mass need to be? Nice slow swings, then take that off, hit a few shots like I did there, get the feedback with the mirror or the camera. The two main errors there, well the main one really is players getting too open and steep and getting that club more in this position, so they then have to stall and get into the scooped position. Pretty much every time that's what they're going to have to do because they're reacting to where that club center of mass is in space. And secondly, a little bit less frequently, but we'd also see that club trapped in behind us here, and now we've got to really flip at it to try and get that club face squared up. So guys, a much easier way of playing this game is to have good control over that club center of mass early in that downswing, crucial position here, so that you can now turn and lower the arms, turn and lower the arms. You can see how much more stable that club face is as I work through, much less twist to the shaft. So just a wonderful one. So no matter what stage you're working on, whether it's your takeaway, whether it's your top of your swing, whether it's your transition, whether it's your follow through, you can use that clown's nose to really help you achieve all of those positions you're looking for. So huge shout out to Scott Cowx for sharing that with us. Phenomenal way. I mean, I've been coaching over 20 years, and you know, that's probably the simplest way of seeing where you're trying to move that golf club. You know, we often talk about the club face and some of these different ideas, but that's just a wonderful visual. So grab yourselves a clown's nose, grab yourselves a foam ball, some aluminium foils, stick it on a peg, a very inexpensive training aid there that's just going to really help you improve your club path, your club face control, and your overall ball striking, help you lower those scores. So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you would like any more free drills, click the link in the description below. Some great drills there for you to also improve your ball striking further. Again, huge shout out to Scott Cowx. Thanks again for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. At Danny Malcolm Golf, I take pride in helping golfers build world-class ball striking, and I've been doing it for over 20 years. And now you can train with the exact same drills and skill building exercises I use with my private students here in the studio every single day, and all for less than the price of an in-person lesson with me. The ball striking blueprint is guaranteed to improve your ball striking. No guesswork, just a clear plan that works. So join the thousands of golfers who've already transformed their game by clicking the link in the description below to get started, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the inside.